Gracias.
¿Whisky, señor?
Sí. Gracias. I'm looking for a woman. Comprende?
Certainly, señor. There's an establishment not 2 blocks away from here. Lovely señoritas, very clean, most reasonable.
Oh, no. I don't want to rent me a woman. I want to buy me a woman.
No comprendo, señor.
What do you mean you don't comprende? I want to buy me a woman.
Por favor, señor.
Excuse me, senor.
Yeah?
I could not help but overhear.
You from around here?
No, I am from Brazil. And you?
Arizona. I just rode in.
Then let me give you some advice, my American friend. Here, the thing you are looking for requires the utmost of diplomacy.
I see. And, are you, a local diplomat?
No. Let's just say that I'm somebody who could lend you a helping hand.
Well, thank you for coming all this way, Melinda. Your lecture was an inspiration to the patients.
Oh, thank you so much. If you ever need anyone to speak again, just let me know.
Well, thank you, I will.
By the way, Doctor, do you think that Blaise Buchanan suffered a heat stroke from her ordeal in the desert?
Well, she certainly suffered some kind of trauma. I'm very concerned about her.
Well, I witnessed a murder once, and no one believed me, so I sympathize with her. But, I don't know, saying you're from 1880 and went through a time warp, I guess that's a little difficult for anyone to accept, isn't it? I'd just appreciate it if you kept in contact with me about her progress.
Oh, I'd be glad to.
Well, I have a plane to catch.
Well, have a safe flight, and thank you again.
Thank you, Doctor.
Listen, Wade, when the court reconvenes, Herb's going to call you to the stand. He's going to ask you a lot of tough questions. Don't blow it by losing your temper, all right?
Yeah. Herb never should have charged Mary Lynn with murder in the first place. I'll be damned if I'm going to help him win the case.
Wade, just tell him the truth.
Don't worry, he'll get more truth than I ever bargained for.
Court is about to reconvene. All rise.
Court is in session. Prosecution, you may proceed.
Your Honor, I would like to give Miss Devine a chance to recuperate from her fainting spell. If it please the court, I will call my next witness. The Commonwealth calls Wade Coleman.
Wade Coleman.
Mr. Coleman, when you and Max Holden first entered Lee Sander's suite and found her dead, would you tell us what happened then?
Well, the first thing I noticed that Donald Lamar was being kind of rough with Mary Lynn.
Kind of rough. Was he hitting her?
No.
Slapping her, physically abusing her, what?
No.
Well, then just how was Mr. Lamar handling her?
Well, he was threatening her, and she looked like she was trying to get away, and he was stopping her.
But this is purely speculation on your part, is that right?
Look, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that after he raped Lee, that he'd want to keep Mary Lynn quiet.
Your Honor, I request that be stricken from the record.
Noted. Jury will disregard that last statement. And I caution the witness, simply answer the questions as they are put to you. Any further allegations you will keep to yourself. Proceed.
Thank you. All right, Wade, Mr. Coleman, let's go back to the events leading up to the murder. Now, on the night of the shooting, where were you and Mary Lynn immediately prior to going to the Holden Towers?
At the carriage house.
Now, let the record show that the carriage house on the grounds of Land Fair is where Miss Dennison maintains residence with her father, Tom Dennison. What would you say Mary Lynn's state of mind was at that time?
When? Back at the carriage house?
Yes. I mean, was she happy, sad, angry? What?
What's this got to do with anything?
Just answer the questions.
Why? What does her state of mind have to do with anything?
Mr. Coleman, the court is not interested in your opinion of the questions, just the answer.
Yeah, what if I don't feel like answering?
Then you will be in contempt of court. And considering your attitude, it would give me great pleasure to exact the maximum penalty for such an offense. Order in the court. Silence, order.
What's the matter? The sheriff said it was urgent. Are you all right? Is the baby all right?
I'm fine. The baby's fine. He's taking a nap. In fact, Kim's watching.
Well, then what's the matter? Why didn't you just come in and get me yourself?
I've had enough of being in courtrooms to last me a lifetime. As much as I wanted to see the man I love in action, I'm not going to sit through another trial.
Oh, that's all right. Well, there's not a whole lot of action going on in there. You know, that judge read me the riot act just because I had my camera out of the case.
Well, that's her loss. She missed her opportunity to be photographed by a world-class photographer.
Well, thank you so much for the compliment. Is that the whole reason you came by here?
Well, can't a woman just not be able to stand waiting to see the man she loves?
Yeah, that's true. But if that's all, I kind of need to get back to work, and you're making it real hard for me to do that. So just give me a kiss goodbye, and I'll go back
No,
there.
hey, you can't go back there. No, you have to go straight to the museum. In fact, that's why I'm here.
What?
Well, the photography curator from the museum, Mr. Marshak, called and he wants to see you right away.
Tina, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, his assistant saw me, he saw my portfolio, and he said that you just weren't interested.
Well, who cares if it makes any sense? Look, the point is he called, and you got to run right over there. See, because he's making his choices, you know, for who's going to be in the photojournalism exhibit, and you got to hurry so that you can be one of the 3 chosen.
Well, you're right. I do have to hurry. I have to go get my portfolio.
Oh, no, you don't have to do that. Wait, right there. See, I brought it here, so all you have to do is show up with your charming self and wow them.
Oh, yeah? Thank you, honey, for everything.
No, thank me later, okay? And meet me at the Holden Towers so you can tell me all about it.
Good deal. I love you. You know that?
I love you. Go on.
All right, I'm going.
Band, where you have that band? It's the radio. What on earth are you doing back there? Oh, Linda, I just had to get away from that horrible place. Ray was telling me the doctors were going to stick me with needles and give me strange medicine and shock my brain. It's a perfectly acceptable medical procedure. Well, it's unnatural, and it's a terrible thing to do to anyone. I know, but it's supposed to help you if it's done correctly. Well, I don't need help by somebody shooting lightning into my brain. What I need is just to get back to Buchanan City. That place doesn't even exist. Now, look, I am not talking like that poor fella that's talking about going back to Mars. I'm talking about where I was born and raised. And I just need to get back home, and you gotta help me, please. I would love to help you, but I am not a doctor. That's why I trust you. Those doctors think I am insane. I'm not. I just need to go home. All right. I'm sorry, but I have to do what I think is best. What are you doing? I'm going to take you back to the hospital. Blaze, don't you ever do that again. I'm sorry. It's just, I couldn't let you take me back to that hospital. I don't want to turn into a hunchback old witch. What are you talking about? Well, they sent Preacher Patterson's wife to such a place, and she came out all withered and shriveled up and looking like the life had just been drained right out of her. I don't know what I'm going to do with you. Oh, just take me home. Here. It's all I've got, and I always kept this in my shoe, and I want you to have it. I don't... Just promise that you'll keep those doctors away from me. Blaze, I don't want your money. I want you to take it. This is a $20 gold piece. This is gold. Well, of course it is. Oh, don't tell me that folks around here use that worthless paper money. This is real? Wait a minute. Are you telling me that you actually fell into the future? Yes. What do you think I've been trying to tell you? No. This is too outrageous. Okay, look, I'll make you a deal. If I can't convince you that I'm not loco, then you can turn this horseless buggy around and take me right back to that hospital. All right. I'm listening.
So you see, gracias. The buying and selling of brides, shall we say, is not entirely legal. So, in order to receive an invitation to an auction such as this, it must be a personal invitation.
And, you have been personally invited?
Precisely. I've come to Nogales to obtain a bride from Senor Phineas T. Smart. You've heard of him?
Yeah, a couple times.
Then perhaps you've also heard that he collects only the finest specimens of loveliness and femininity. Of course, Senor Smart charges dearly for his service, but being wealthy, I'm willing to pay the price. Huh? And besides, how else am I going to find a beauty to come and live with me in the jungles of my homeland, huh?
Just where does this Mr. Smart get his women from?
I don't know, and I don't ask. But in any case, I'm going to attend his auction, which takes place here tomorrow afternoon. And I would be very happy to select a lady for you, if that is your wish.
Well, you know, I appreciate that, Mr. Mendez. I really do. But I guess I'm just an old-fashioned boy, you know. I've always made it a point to choose my own dogs, my own horses, and my own women. But you know, I just had a hell of an idea. Well, why don't I just tag along with you? That way I can do my own selecting.
No. As I said before, such events are only by personal invitation. If you do not have the seal of approval of Phineas Smart, you'll not get 2 steps past the guards he has posted. No. You can either accept my generous offer for a small fee, of course, or you can forget all about finding the woman of your dreams.
Have another drink, senor.
Gracias.
Mr. Coleman, what would you say Mary Lynn's state of mind was at that time?
I don't know. I guess she was kind of bummed out.
Bummed out? By that you mean she wasn't in a very good mood?
Yeah, that's another way of putting it. But who is in a good mood after they have a fight with their parents?
Oh, so she had a fight with her father before leaving the carriage house?
Yeah.
What was the fight about?
Nothing important.
You mean like taking out the garbage, something?
No, it was a fight, okay?
Well, if it was so inconsequential, why not tell us about it?
Because it's none of your business.
Your Honor.
Last warning, Mr. Coleman. One more outburst and you will be in contempt.
Look, this is something that I don't really want to talk about. It's a personal matter, and I don't want to embarrass myself or Mary Lynn by discussing it.
Tom Dennison disapproved of your relationship with Mary Lynn. Is that true?
Yeah. And then he had a fit one night when he came home and found us together. Alone.
Engaged in activity of an intimate nature? So would you say that Mary Lynn was upset enough to go looking for revenge?
Your Honor, I must object to the prosecution's line of questioning here.
Overruled.
But, Your Honor, he is obviously...
I said overruled. Please continue.
So Mr. Dennison came home to find you in bed with his daughter, which resulted in a terrible fight. Is that correct?
Yes.
But would it be accurate to say that Mary Lynn, the defendant, was at least distraught when she left the carriage house on her way to the Holden Towers?
Yeah, but that's not the point. Of course she would be upset, but she went to the Holden Towers to see her mother because she could always get help from her.
Always? Always? Then why didn't the defendant turn to her mother for help when she attempted suicide? Go on, Mr. Coleman. What happened next?
I walked down to the river and then looked up and saw her at the bridge. Then she pulled me out of the water, and we went up to the cabin and dried off. It was just all an accident.
That bridge has a pedestrian guardrail on it. Now, you expect this court to believe that Mary Lynn accidentally climbed up on the rail and then accidentally fell into the river?
I'm just telling you what I saw.
Uh-huh. And is it customary for accident victims to seek psychiatric help?
You tell me.
All right, Mr. Coleman, I will. The records show that after the incident on the bridge, Mary Lynn Dennison began psychiatric treatment for attempted suicide. You want me to bring the psychiatrist in here?
Your Honor, the witness is not qualified to give a psychiatric evaluation of Miss Dennison's motivations at that time.
No, Your Honor, it only makes sense that the defendant would have shared her feelings with Mr. Coleman after he saved her in the river. I am simply asking him if he actually believes that there was an accident.
Objection overruled. Answer the question.
Look, I told you what I saw. If you want to call it attempted suicide, that's you saying it.
I will take that as a begrudging admission of the facts. Now, what would you say caused Miss Dennison's attempt to kill us?
How should I know?
Mr. Coleman, you've already stated that Mr. Dennison disapproved of your relationship with his daughter. So your plans to marry her must have caused a great deal of friction between her and her parents.
A little.
A little. A little. Isn't it true that the domineering and dictatorial attitude you witnessed in opposition to your marriage is the same sort of oppression that Mary Lynn has experienced all along?
Well, maybe.
Then isn't it also true that it was precisely that sort of emotional abuse which drove Mary Lynn to attempt suicide?
Objection. The counsel is leaving the witness.
Sustained. Would you rephrase, please?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Mr. Coleman, how would you describe Mary Lynn's relationship with her parents?
Are you trying to ask me if they fought? Sure, who doesn't fight with their parents?
Did Mary Lynn usually win those fights?
No.
So could we assume that she was dominated by her parents, that she was forced to abide by their decisions?
Well, sometimes.
Didn't it make her angry that her life was being controlled by her mother and her father?
Yeah, I guess.
And wasn't she angry at her father for the way he treated her when he found you and her in bed together?
Look, she was hurt about it.
And have you never seen Mary Lynn as hurt and angry with her mother?
Yes, but that's...
No further questions.
No, senora, there's no doubt about it. Phineas T. Smart is the finest procurer of lovely ladies south of the border. He gets them from the United States. Beautiful women, good, healthy stuff. Gracias.
Sounds like you've done business with this fellow before.
Oh, yes. Last year, I came here to bring home a bride. And instead, I had a goddess. Ah. Do you know what happened to her?
No, I can't say that I do. Mr. Mendez? What happened to this goddess bride?
She became un borracha. Taking cerveza like his mother's milk. So you know what I did? I threw her away. Maybe this time I'll have better luck.
Yeah. Sounds like Mr. Smart must be kind of a lucky fella, too. Well, I mean, if what he's doing isn't exactly legal, like you say, it's pretty lucky not to have been arrested by the federales.
Then why would the federales want to spoil such a beautiful arrangement, huh? Where do you think El Capitan got his bride?
Easy.
Yeah.
I think you better walk off some of that whiskey. I'll tell you what, why don't you and I get some fresh air? You can show me the sights, and maybe we can just strike a deal. After all, huh?
An excellent idea. I'm sure you will find me an honorable man.
Oh, I bet on that.
I want you to know that I understand how you feel. You're alone. No one trusts you. I know because I've been there before. Now, you seem sane and reasonable, and I like you. I really do. It's just that what you're asking me to believe is totally impossible.
That's fair enough. But if you believe that Clint's dead and it's impossible that I would have met him, then how come I know that he's got 3 fine children with the names Kevin, Joey, and Jessica?
Buchanans are well known in Arizona. You probably read something in a newspaper.
Clint? In the newspaper? Honey, he's a modest man. Why, he wouldn't even let him run a story on him after he put a stop to the range war.
The range war?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks to Clint, the farmers and ranchers are living side by side in peace.
That was over 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. I am not going to get myself all involved in this. If you know Clint, it's because you just met him in Arizona.
I do know Clint, and I also know that he's not dead. This very minute, he is out in that desert searching for that slave trader, Phineas T. Smart, for kidnapping Jenny Fletcher. And if you just get me to Buchanan City, I can prove to you I am not 10 cents short of $1.
I don't even know where Buchanan City is.
Well, ain't you got a map or something?
A map isn't going to help if the place doesn't even exist.
Well, fine friend you turned out to be. I mean, you say you want to help me, and then you don't even believe a thing I say.
All right. You're right. You need someone who can trust you. Look, tell you what. If you'll agree, I will call Dr. Pringle, and I will tell him that you're with me, and that I'm bringing you back to Landview, Pennsylvania. And there, I will introduce you to Vicki Buchanan.
Clint's wife?
Yes, that's right. Now, if you can convince Vicki that you know Clint, then I'll believe you too.
And if I don't?
If you don't, I'm going to call Dr. Pringle and have him take you back to the hospital.
Honey, you got yourself a deal. Well, what are you waiting for? Slap the reins on this buggy and let's get her rolling.
Doug Robinson is having an asthma attack.
Hello,
So,
me what happened. Did they like your photos? Are you going to be in the exhibit?
Well, let's just put it this way. You better get your autograph now, otherwise you're going to be waiting in line.
Court, I knew. Oh, I just knew if they took another look at your photos that they'd love them. Oh, honey, I'm so proud of you.
Girl, you know what it means to have your pictures put in a museum like this?
What, that they got good taste?
Yeah. You know what Marshak said to me?
No, you tell me.
He said that my pictures have the power and the realism that rival the works of Matthew Brady.
Matthew Brady, he was that famous Civil War photographer, wasn't he?
Yes, ma'am, you got it. Not only that, but he says I'm going to have say in the whole exhibit, right? So I get to pick out the shots that I want to use, and then he says I can decide whether I want to have them arranged according to the subject, you know, so they tell some kind of a story, or if I want to just do it chronologically and show the development of my pictures from the time I started.
You're really excited about this, aren't you?
Tina, this is like a dream come true. Are you kidding me? Oh, girl, I've got you to thank for all of it.
Oh, I didn't have anything to do with it, I swear.
Oh, honey, come on, what are you talking about? You're the one, you got the call from the museum, and then you hustled over to the courthouse, you got me, I got the portfolio, and then I went over there. Timing is everything, girl, and you got to be in the right place in the right time, and you're the one who saw to it that I was there.
Well, you know what they say, that good things happen in threes. I mean, first we got our baby, and then you got this show, and I wonder what the third thing's gonna be.
Well, hey, maybe I'll get a parking space right out front next time I come here, right?
Well, I was thinking of something just a little bit more exciting.
Oh.
Something that starts with the letter M.
Yeah. Mediterranean cruise, you're right, that'd be fun.
No, I meant something that lasts a lifetime.
Main coat, right? That's what we're talking about here. You want main coat?
No, Court, I'm talking about marriage, and you know it.
Yeah, and after Mary Lynn's fight with her father, did she express a desire to move out of the carriage house?
Yeah, she said she wanted to move to the Holden Towers.
Is that why she went there, in order to secure a place for her to live?
Yeah, that, and she wanted to talk to her mom.
Well, now, the district attorney would have us believe that Mary Lynn's relationship with her mother was one filled with anger and hurt. Did you find that to be the case?
No, not at all.
Mr. Coleman, how would you describe Mary Lynn's relationship with her mother?
Well, shortly after I met Mary Lynn, she found out that Lee was her mother, and it was kind of rough going at first, but over the months, I noticed that they were getting a lot closer. Look, they had their disagreements, but Mary Lynn always knew that she could go to her mother for understanding and compassion.
I see. So Mary Lynn went to the Holden Towers to see her mother that night out of love, not anger.
Yeah, she said she went looking for the love she knew she could always get from her mom.
And did she get it?
She never got the chance.
Well, now, why is that?
Because when she went in there, she found Donald Lamar trying to rape her mother.
Objection.
Sustained. Jury will disregard that last statement. Mr. Coleman, I'm not going to warn you again.
Oh, come on. This is the guy that should be on trial, not Mary Lynn. He's a murderer and he should be behind bars.
In the courtroom at home.
Listen, I can prove it.
No!
Griffin Clark was Lamar's chauffeur. He admitted that you were never having an affair. I've got his statement on tape. Look, if you had any respect for the law, you'd stop being Lamar's lackey and you'd admit
This court is in recess until it comes to order.
I sure do want to thank you for this nice change of clothes. But no offense, honey, the people in these parts dress mighty indecently. You can see my ankles.
I don't think anyone will think the worst of you for it. Here. Look at this
Oh,
right
now,
here.
what's this?
This is a seat belt. It's for your safety. You have to have it on when you're in your seat.
Now, what is it that you said this thing we're sitting in is called?
An airplane. Flies.
We're going up in the sky?
Don't be afraid. It's perfectly safe.
Well, what keeps it up?
Aerodynamics.
Arrow what?
Trust me.
Oh, I do. I really do. You know, you're the only one who's ever had faith in me. And I know that Vicky is gonna believe me, and you're gonna believe me, and I'm gonna be home in no time.
Well, I don't know about no time, because I don't know where Buchanan City is, but Lambview's about 2,000 miles from here.
2,000 miles? Oh, I've never been more than 100 miles away from home. That means we're going to be strapped in these seats for weeks.
It'll take a couple of hours to get there.
I give up. I guess it's just time I accept the fact that I have landed smack dab in the middle of the future. And I do not know how, but Clint and I have exchanged centuries. Whether you believe me or not, I might just be here to stay.
I don't know what to believe. that noise?
It's the engines. We're going to take off soon.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Hey, guess what? I can walk without you pushing me.
You stay here and don't move till I come and get you.
You flunky.
Utility.
So by your description of your relationship to Lee Sanders, can we assume that you were her closest friend?
I think that's a safe assumption.
Now, Miss Devine, is it true that you have just gone through the process of selling your business?
Yes,
Where was this business established?
in Nevada.
What was the nature of that business?
One might say, some call it a home away from home.
While others call it a house of prostitution, of which you were the madam.
Objection, Your Honor. This line of questioning is totally irrelevant.
Well, if defense permits me to continue, I will prove the relevancy of my questioning.
Overruled. Proceed, Counselor.
Thank you. Miss Devine, isn't it true that you were the madam of your home away from home?
I'm not particularly fond of that label. I was responsible for looking out for the welfare of my girls.
And wasn't Lee Sanders, or Carol Dennison as she was then known, one of your girls?
Objection, Your Honor. The victim's character is not on trial.
I withdraw the question. As her closest friend, Miss Devine, did Lee Sanders ever confide in you?
Certainly.
Then were you aware of her alleged affair with Donald Lamar?
There was nothing going on between Lee and Donald, alleged or otherwise. He's an awful man. She didn't want anything to do with him.
Your Honor?
Miss Devine, please answer the questions without editorial comment.
I apologize, Your Honor. But not for the central truth of what I was saying. Lee loved Tom Dennison. She fully intended to marry him and reestablish a loving family relationship.
No further questions.
Mr. Russell,
No questions at this time, Your Honor.
you may step down, Miss Devine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Callison, next witness.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth calls Donald Lamar.
Donald Lamar.
Guess what? I'm still here. You can the smart talk. Till the judge decides what to do with you, you don't budge an inch. You got that?
Oh, I wouldn't want to make you lose your job.
It's going to be a real pleasure seeing Weber throw the book at you.
Marriage, Tina, listen, see, I'm gonna be an artiste now, so you know what that means. I'm not gonna have any time to worry about a personal life. All I'm gonna have to do is worry about my work from now on.
Oh, that's all right. I won't get in the way. I promise. I'll even knock before I go into your darkroom.
Well, I don't know, Tina. I mean, now that I've been tapped by the museum as someone who can continue the tradition of someone like Matthew Brady and all those other great photographers, I'm gonna be busy all the time. I'm just not gonna have the time for anything like that.
Oh, you won't have any time? Not enough time to say just one tiny little I do? I mean, after all I've done for you?
Well, let's see. I may be able to work you in about 2 years from next Thursday. How's that sound?
Court, I'm being serious now.
Yeah, I know you're being serious. Here. Okay, I'm serious too.
Look, I don't know. I know I don't deserve a second chance with you or anything like that. I mean, I really blew it last time, but we're so happy now, and everything is so perfect. And I know Clint could use a real, honest-to-goodness family. And Court, you know how I feel about you, and I just... Oh, I'm just rattling on, aren't I? It's because I'm at a loss for words.
So what are you saying, Tina? What, are you asking me to marry you?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I am. And I'm going to make it official, Cord. Cord Roberts, will you marry me?
Whiskey, amigo, whiskey.
Si, senor. Don't I know you, senor?
I don't know. You ever been to the Caribbean?
No.
Then you don't know me. Ándale, senor, ándale. The voyage makes me thirsty. Mucho thirsty.
Yes, Tina. Yes, I will marry you.
Oh, Cord. Oh, you have made me the happiest woman on earth.
Oh, yeah? Well, I guess this calls for champagne then, huh?
No. Before you order any champagne, I want you to know that I know I don't deserve a second chance with you, but I am going to do my very best to make this marriage work this time.
Girl, when are you going to learn that you just don't make a marriage work? It either does or it doesn't.
Well, I know that, but I mean, Cord, we belong together. It's like it's written in the stars somewhere, you know?
Well, as soon as you can get your feet back down to earth, there's one more tradition I need to take care of, I guess. Give me your left hand here.
What?
Till death do us part.
Oh, good Lord in heaven. The ground is falling away from...
Relax. There's nothing to be frightened of.
If you say so. Oh. Buck, honey. I'm over 100 years away from home. And I'm so scared I'll never see you again, and I just couldn't take it because I love you so much.
Wait a minute. Where did you get that picture of Asa Buchanan?
I don't know any Asa.
Oh, well, who's that then?
It's my husband, Buck. Buck Buchanan.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may be seated.
I'm worried about Mary Lynn now. You just know Lamar's gonna lie through his teeth up there.
No, she's a strong kid, and she's got the truth on her side.
Well, I've always had a lot of faith in the truth.
Mr. Callison?
Just hope Lamar's lies don't ruin it for us.
Mr. Lamar, would you tell us exactly what happened on the night of Lee Sanders' death?
Yes. It was a horrible night. At one moment, Lee and I were sharing the love that we felt for each other, and in the next moment, she was lying there at my feet, dead. And then, just as Lee and I were about to make love, as we had so many times in the past, Mary Lynn burst into the room. I could tell she was extremely upset. Before I could stop her, she had reached for my gun, and she was shouting something about wanting to punish Lee for having betrayed her father.
I have to know about my mother first. Was she having an affair with Donald Lamar, or was he using that to cover up the fact that he was running away from her?
Order in this court.
He had a relationship with her a few years
Turn
ago.
that damn loudspeaker off.
Lately, he's had a strong desire to rekindle the old flames. That's why he came to Landview, isn't that?
Cool days always remind me of my mother's cinnamon bread. Maybe that's why I like the creamy cinnamon taste of